Hello, hello. What is up? What is good? We have a new chapter of One Piece 1183 after a week off, and then also Golden Week, where there was no jump at all. It feels like it's been quite a while. And we left on not a cliffhanger per se, but just right in the midst of a lot of stuff going on. Emu battling Loki in full Needhogger form, seeming to recognize him, seeming to have some past relationship with the devil fruit itself, rather than Loki as an individual. This, of course, is why Emu came to Elbaf more than anything else, I think, is that by seeing through Gunko's eyes, he saw that Needhogger was, like, hiding there. It was a sense of that Needhogger had been lost out into the world somewhere, which I think kind of reflects this idea that even though Emu clearly has something to do with the creation of the devil fruits way, way back in the day in that Garden of Eden type setting, that primordial world of the gods, which I do think more and more we're going to have a flashback to. Um, Especially because we saw Zaza, the god of rain, this being the sleep tid generated by Killingham's dreams himself, his nightmares. To me, that suggests that there was indeed kind of a pantheon of gods in this super primordial world of the series that have then been relegated to different religions, different regions, all sorts of different statuses. I do think that at one point they all lived and had beef and stuff just like the Greco-Roman gods. Anyways, I think Emu must have had something to do with the generation of the devil fruits back then, but the nature of the devil fruits is that they kind of scattered into the world. His watchful eye was not able to track all of them. They just kept perpetuating themselves through the generations, respawning after being eaten each time. Sort of like the Will of D itself seems to have kind of been propagating, festering, swimming downstream through the generations without Emu's influence or anyone's influence. So I really like this kind of concept that this is coming out and this idea of Emu looking for the Needhogger devil fruit this whole time. As for what's still gonna happen in this arc, I don't know. I've been thinking about it a lot. I've been thinking about just what will happen in the future of the series a lot. Still want to make some sort of video going over all of my predictions and stuff so that all the ones that I'm right about, I can go back and point and say, no, I knew it. I knew it from this chapter onwards, and feel very smart and wise. And the stuff that I'm wrong about, I can look back and have a good-hearted chuckle at how off base I ended up being. It's kind of a win-win. The only downside is just takes time, and then every chapter I read, I want to revise things, and it never feels quite as set in stone as I felt. But anyways, let's plunge ahead with the chapter. Very cute color page here. The Straw Hat's getting rocketed up in the splash from this giant pink elephant. Perhaps a member of the species that Zunisha is. I like that some of them are wearing elephant-themed clothes too, and there's like a tiny pink elephant that's also riding up with them. Maybe a progeny of some sort. Very cute. Let's jump into it. Okay, this chapter is bizarrely titled "Good Morn Maid." No idea what that could refer to yet, but whatever. We didn't know what Zaza meant last time either until the very final page, so I'm not expecting to learn immediately. Okay. Ragnar, thou wert waiting for when they could strike back against Mu. Isn't that right? So it's like Ragnar, because it is the devil fruit put into a weapon, it really has still the mind of its own as a devil fruit. Ragnar seems to remember Emu directly and has just been the same conscious entity, probably in a state of like suspension and sleep where it's not animate, but has experienced things all the way since time immemorial. Unfortunately, it is just a silly little squirrel, but presumably, and I don't know if this is gonna like come to pass or there's a reason where for it not to come to pass or whatever. But couldn't Chopper just talk to Ragnir and be like, "Hey man, what was it like thousands of years ago?" and Ragnir would be like chill and cool and be like, "Yeah, you're my friend, so I'm gonna give you all this helpful information." I think if that just doesn't happen and there's no reason for it, that's fine. I'm not gonna count that as like plot hole or something. But it would be interesting too if that does happen. And there could be plenty of reasons for it not to as well. Like more and more I'm thinking that Emu will succeed somehow in trapping and kidnapping the Loki Ragnir pair. Okay. Okay, never mind. That will not be my soldier, so I shall eliminate thee instead. I guess that makes sense too. If Emu just kills Loki right here, then he can gain control of the Nidhogger Devil Fruit immediately, which is probably like best case scenario. Just like Dozan. Don't know who that is. I don't believe. Unless this is some alternate name of someone we're familiar with. Blade of Wrath Graham. Interesting. Very cool attack. I like this kind of... This is the first time we've really seen the weapon used. The weapon looked super badass. And infusing it with this mysterious omen quality. Meanwhile, Loki striking back by getting lightning to come down and intercept the attack. Super, super badass. As I said before, I've been very, very impressed with how the high-level fights in the series are looking. Where new things are happening, you know? Like, there's new unprecedented depictions of power. New attack effects, if you will. But it hasn't devolved into just, like, beam versus beam smushing into each other. Which I think was an issue with a lot of the contemporary battle shonen, like Naruto especially, when One Piece started. But it seems like Oda has maybe been reading his JJKs and Demon Slayers and stuff, and thinking about how to kind of create these very high impact, very flashy, very effectful, high level fights without it feeling just like visual noise or whatever. That's great. See Zaza again. Zaza, very interesting. Accompanied, of course, by her own drum beat. I think that's something we'll learn in this All Gods flashback that I am anticipating more and more. It may be that the 20 kings that created the world government and divided up the world were in fact, way at the start of the Void Century, actually gods themselves. And that there are 20 other enshrined inactive gods or something. That Emu is the only one that like still manifests, but I don't know. It seems like there's a lot of gods. That's all I'm gonna say. Because this one is just God of Rain. And Emu, I think, is gonna be God of like humanity, right? Like I think that'll be an interesting twist. Because Emu, I meant to talk about this in some other form. I think I was thinking about this last week too, and then I forgot to mention it. So Emu, his name is written in 3 katakana. No, it's written in 2 katakana. How is his name written? Yeah, it's written in 2 katakana. And then when the katakana are arranged, it makes the kanji for kami, God. And the one radical in kami, that's the E in Emu, is the radical that represents like humans. That is used in all these sort of like human-related words. So I think that is a clue. Also, just the idea that Emu is the one that maybe gave devil fruits to the world. Which is kind of like giving humans the power of gods, if you want to think about it that way. He's almost like a Prometheus figure or whatever. I think kind of aligns Emu as like a god of humanity, which feels wrong because he's like a villain and evil and wants to rule over humanity. But I think may just still represents some uniqueness insofar as that he's like interested in humanity to that degree. So I don't know. At any rate, yes, I think Nika, sun god, obviously. Emu, god of humans. That's maybe also why Emu continues to live among humans, um, interacting with Joy Boy and Davy at the time of the Void Century. Then we have Zaza, the god of rain. There's a mention of a forest god in the mural that Frankie looks at near to the start of this arc. So we got potentially 20 gods. Okay, anyways. They are fighting against the Sleeptid of Zaza. Seems pretty hopeless. I don't know how you're even supposed to begin fighting this thing. I really like how it looks. It's so fucking cool. Of course, Oda has to make it a babe. Can't have, like, a giant female anything without Oda being like, wait a minute. But the giants, of course, valiantly resisting, even though these are mostly people that just got completely wiped out trying to save their kids just before. They managed to grab 7 kids. Sanji appears at the scene. A person I did not want to see, or so I thought. I'm so confused right now. Okay, so yeah, this... We knew it was going to get paid off at some point. The fact that Brook, before he died, and before he was even a pirate, we knew served in the guard of some kingdom. And that Gunko, I'm going to throw this out here, because One Piece loves princesses, is probably like the princess of that kingdom. And that she was like a fan of Brook. Brook, even at that time, I'm sure, was a musician and a charmer and a goofy, lovable guy. And that this... something, you know, and the world government subjugating this kingdom, the princess is offered up as some sort of sacrifice. Something along those lines. And it may be even that this tragedy is what drove Brook to leave the Royal Guard and become a pirate. That's my guess. I think that's a simple story enough, and it hits some good emotional beats. You know, we feel bad for Gunko. This, of course, sets up the Gunko face turn. We that I've been anticipating ever since we first saw her, because Oda ain't gonna make a girl that attractive and cute and then cover up her face, especially. You know those bandages are coming off, and she's gonna have a big warm smile. If it's really her, then she must be 77 years old right now. Must be someone else, right? You guys gotta... Yeah, she was the princess of my homeland. Yup. Lost contact with her when she traveled to Sacred Marijois. Yup, okay. Okay, so it's not like there was some horrible... it caused rebellion and stuff. Because he just says, I lost contact with her. It's not like they took her away from the kingdom or whatever. Which I guess is more in line with how we've seen other celestial dragons and holy knights and stuff be conscripted. Is not so much they're ripped there by force, but they're lured there by some means or another, and then once they're converted, enslaved, hypnotized, etc. Can't tell if she's alive or dead. You can just leave her there. Celestial dragon who looks exactly like someone you knew. Doesn't change the fact that she came here to attack Elbaf. Tied up earlier, she was the one who undid the rope. Yeah. She know who I am. Then she turned back into the demonic form. Okay. Did not occur to me at first, but after seeing people turn into demons today, I must admit I feel deeply disturbed in my core. This is good. I like that they're not conveniently stupid about this, and that it remains a mystery to all but the reader. Instead, I think Brook has quickly surmised that the enemy has some means of controlling and brainwashing people, so maybe it could be the case here too. And I guess the evidence that these holy knights and stuff are immortal and do not age is something that these guys aren't privy to. I don't think that's really been mentioned by anyone. It's more that we've seen those aspects of it. Hate to rush you, Brooke, but we need a decision. Does she live or die? We can't do anything before that's settled. This is interesting. They're having a little, it was just an accident moment here while an apocalyptic battle is raging on another part of the island. They've got this mysterious woman encased in ice, and they got to figure out if they're just going to dump her in the ocean and let her die, or if they're going to try to save her. It's kind of interesting. Oh my gosh, and now we are launching into, and mind you, this is still in the middle of Loki fighting Emu. We are getting another flashback to Brook and his past, which is indeed still pretty mysterious. We only kind of know what happened after he became a pirate, but he did mention he had a whole life before that. A long time ago, truly a long time ago, she was just a child and I was a young man too. It was in a country that no longer exists, Asperia. Asperia was a land of music full of workshops crafting instruments of all kinds. Lovely. And you know, in many series, I think the injection of such a flashback feel a little tedious. And the only reason I think it isn't, even though I kind of feel like I've already guessed what the main beats of this flashback will probably be, I think it's good because we are going to still witness just the world of One Piece back then. There's going to be so many incidental, like, world building things, confirmation things. I'm just excited to see these characters in their youth. Excited to see Brook as a human again is very exciting. I wonder if this is in part done because they cast a human to play human Brook before he is a skeleton in the One Piece live action. But in the Laboon flashback, they have the guy that I think they plan on having play Brook 18 years from now as a flesh and blood human. So now they're like, man, we cast this guy. He's great. He's only going to show up in that scene and like 2 other scenes when they meet Brook later. The rest of the time, he's just going to be doing voice work. So now they've written another flashback where Brook is a human. I don't think that's why. That's not why. Okay. Wake up at the crack of dawn. It's a good morn made. The start of a brand new world. They say there's many seas that can be surveyed, but all I need is a good morn made. What does that mean? Is this like Neil Young, A Man Needs a Maid? So he was this human rooster. I love the design of this island, that it has a big harp mountain type thing. I wish to see a sexy mermaid someday. Yes, yes, yes. Hope you get fired from the battle convoy. So yeah, this is his like role in the army, is to be loud. That's what I call a bad end made. The land of instrument makers, Asperia. Okay, so he was a captain. Princess Shuri gets all your attention. What do you think I'm teaching you now? Learn the fundamentals before you dream. And there he is, Brook at age 20. Wow. And Gunko at age 7. FKA Shuri. She already has her odd heterochromia type thing. So it's not like every single royal family member that passes through Marijois gets conscripted and hypnotized and everything. So there must be some reason that Shuri was targeted. Might have something to do with these 2 odd eyes. Singing Pink's Brew, of course. Brook's theme song, basically. Think I got any stronger, just like Mama. Interesting. Actually, he's very powerful. Queen Candle, light of my life. Okay. So Brooke is in love with the queen. The king is clearly a piece of shit because just look at him. Oh, I don't know. He seems. I think if he wasn't a piece of shit, Brooke wouldn't be so blatantly in love with his wife because that would be too morally unjustifiable. So maybe it's his fault that Gunko gets shipped off. Please, boss, I mean your majesty. This is good. I'll wait till death takes you. This is good. This is a good bit. This is very good comedic interlude from the apocalyptic stakes of the rest of the arc. Truly bizarre, of course. But you know, that's how One Piece does flashbacks. You never see them coming. When I grow up, I'll marry you instead. You're supposed to say goofy stuff like that to me. So this is the silly fun of their royal kingdom. It's a gang on horseback riding through the city from the port. Some sort of battle convoy in town, but they're outnumbered. Somewhere from the castle building, like the maiden in time. Now this is exciting. We get to see pirates of 70 years ago, which is kind of an untouched era in history. This is before the Rocks pirates, long before Whitebeard and Roger, you know, and I don't think we know really of any pirates this old besides like the giant pirates. Been shouting for Queen Candle, who is enjoying an opera in town. Oh, the Mulan family. Opera House's transponder snail is on silent during the show. It's silly. So these are not pirates, perhaps. The Moulin Rogues. It's, of course, a Moulin Rouge joke. I'm not sure if that is a joke that has been translated insofar as it was another reference in Japanese. Then they cleverly came up with a matching reference in English, or if Oda is just a fan of that musical and is making a direct English language pun here. But whatever. I love these little shots of the place too. You see this treble clef topiary. Very, very lovely. So yeah, these are not pirates, it seems. I think these are representatives of some other noble family or something that is trying to do kind of like a Romeo and Juliet by force. I like that they all wear fedoras, though, it seems. Their flag had a fedora on it, too. It's very timely. Okay. Oh, yeah, they're like a gangster family. Yeah, Don Mulan, if you don't. You're going to be the Don's woman once and for all. I like this. So this also, we know this is taking place in the West Blue, I believe, which is where Don Capone and stuff, that whole gang, the Fire Tank Pirates, is from. So it kind of reinforces this idea that that's like the mafia area of the seas, where it's not so much pirates, but these like pirate mafia gangs using like a mafia-esque structure are from. This whole plot, you know, really feels very kind of like classic 50s kind of vibes, you know. The not so much a love triangle, but these bickerings over women and feuds and grudges. It's gonna be fine, boss. For one thing, she's very strong. They can't take her away. Plus, I'm rather stunned they haven't noticed yet. You see, by the time they left the port... By the way, I love that the king is just wearing like a wife beater. Like a tank top. I'm not to suggest he is a wife beater. He actually doesn't seem like he's such a bad guy. He's just kind of a slob. I don't think he will be the villain of this arc at all. I'd already cut them all. It's one of those, they were already cut things. Very good, very good. And there's the queen. Awesome. The Kingdom of Vesperia harbored 2 great stars. The former captain of the battle convoy and current Queen Candel. The other, an unpopular musician, but the master of the quick draw sword technique that left its victims unaware they've been slashed. The leader of the Raider Squad, Hummingbrook. In this era, the kingdom was at peace. Okay, so it doesn't seem like the squabble with the Mafia is really going to be the crux of this little flashback. Surely it's going to be more about why was Shuri sent to Marijois. What is the desire for her mysterious eyes, maybe, or whatever. But this looks like it's going to be kind of a substantial flashback, which is crazy. They busted out these scroll-type text boxes, which is always the signal that we're going into not just a brief flashback, but a flashback arc of sorts. And this is why I want to make my predictions video, because I think the more I try to predict, the more unpredictable the things that I didn't predict feel. You know what I mean? Like, having really tried to pour over the texts and fry my brain trying to simulate the future of One Piece, which is a very enjoyable exercise. I never, ever in any of my expectations and simulations was able to think of this. A substantial Brook flashback, a flashback set in Brook's. I thought this would be like a 2-pager. This would be a 2-pager explaining who Gunko is. But now it seems like we are actually going to be chilling out with this plotline for a while. I genuinely have a little mixed feelings about it, because I'm like, this is really what we're doing now? This is really what you want to spend time on, Oda, with your limited time on this earth? We have so much to cover in this so-called final saga. And I don't just mean in the delusional shonen reader checklist way of like, this guy's got to come back and fight this guy. But just like straight up, you realize that you still have to like get them to Raftel at the very least. You have to go to Laugh-Tale and find the One Piece, and that alone is gonna be a lot. But I'm also kind of here for it, you know? It's gonna be interesting. And I was thinking about this too, that I think the greatest strength and the greatest flaw of One Piece in like the last 5 years or so is that so much significance has been brought up. There's so many like cards in Oda's hand of things that he can make happen with like preloaded significance. This character shows up. Oh, it's the explanation of this thing. Here's Vegapunk after 1,000,000 years. Here's the true story of Bartholomew of Kuma. We're going to Elbaf finally, you know? It's everything has such weight. Everything has such significance. And I feel like what has been lost, and it's the greatest weakness of the series these days, is a sense of a pure adventure, the sense of the purely unexpected, right? I thought my dream was that there would be one final true adventure into the unknown arc, which would be locating the Burn Scar Man, who has the final road poneglyph, which would also be the story of finding the frozen continent of giants, which are like 2 goals we know could be in the future, but that we know nothing about, like where that is or who that is or what the hell's going on. So that would be, just like the early days, an arc where they just get off at some island and it's like, what the hell is going on here? You know? And I still hope that will happen, but I think this flashback as well, because we kind of just know it's going to end with Shuri becoming Gunko, Brook becoming a pirate, and, you know, in this era, the kingdom was at peace, the kingdom not being at peace. But outside of that, they can introduce any number of characters, they can have any number of adventures, any number of strange settings. It's 70 years ago, so we're not really expecting anyone to show up. So that means anyone could show up, you know. Oh my god, it's Rox's mom. A notorious pirate of her day, you know? Like there's potential for that kind of significant but purely unknown type thing to start happening here. So yeah, I'm excited. Let's look forward to next week. I will see you then. Bye bye.